Hey everyone, Catch 'em All Collectibles here. In today's video, I am following up on a video series started a year ago. I have receipts from when this was started. I will keep receipts every 6 months, every year or so. I will check in. My dad and I started investing in Pokemon by the pallet. We are currently on nearly closing out pallet number 3. Last we talked 6 months ago, pallet 1 was performing very well. Pallet 1 was entirely completed a year ago, May 2024. We followed up on it in November of 2024, and Pallet 2 was partially underway. As of today, I'm recording this May 10th. You're going to see this May 12th, I believe. Pallet 3 is nearly done, and Pallet 4 might be underway in the next month or two. So without much further ado, we will get right into how they have done. So the start of the video, I will link, I gave you the links to the videos. We will review the performance of Pallet 1, Pallet 2, compared to benchmarks that were set in video 1 of the series, and then I'm gonna recap some thoughts that came from the outset of the series, and I'm gonna review comments. I'm gonna review comments from some of those early videos. But yeah, let's get right into it. So these are the returns. So a little bit of an overview on what's going on here. So investment down in the in column A, and then across are the dates and the timestamps to what the values were. So Pallet 1 was built, manufactured all at once. One commentary that I got on this video is like, hey, Dan, we can't all get access to these pricing. Interestingly enough, Pallet 1 will show what's on it. I pretty much I've access to a little bit better pricing than a lot of people. And that's something I'll elaborate on more. My past videos kind of talked about that, how you're kind of up against people with better access to better pricing than you have, likely, if you're trying to invest in this space. But anyways, that was all like a market price at the time. We built that all in one go. The discussion included, hey, Pallet 2, Pallet 3, Pallet 4. We're not going to do it all at once. Generally speaking, deals will come and go. Deals will find you just randomly. You wake up one random morning, there's a deal in your inbox. Maybe your distributor's got a reprint, whatever it may be. So why build it all at once like we did Pallet 1? Let's just build it along the way. So Pallet 2, on November 1st, 2024, Pallet 2 had $32,000 in value at that time. That's not what our cost was. We'll talk about that later in the video, but its value for what was there was $32,000. No, it did not triple between November and May. Had we put the proper things on it, it could have, but we added money. We'll talk about it in a later section of the video, but we added money between November 1st, 2024 and May 4th, 2025 to Pallet 2. However, Pallet 1, we did not. So Pallet 1, $49,850 when we completed it on May 1st, 2024. 6 months later, 20+% returns. 1 year later, just over 1 year later, missed its birthday by a few days, 116% compound annual growth rate. In 1 year, our investment pallet, and we're going to show soon highest performers, lowest performers, which ones were red, which ones were green, how red, if any. And I'm going to talk about just thoughts. I'm going to talk about hey, when I made this video, I rarely watch back my old videos, but I watched in its entirety video 1 from a year ago, video 2 from 6 months ago. And I'm definitely going to make a video at 2 years, and maybe I won't make 3 and 4, but I'll definitely make 5. We'll see. We'll see how it goes, how long I'm making YouTube videos. But 2030 is when this experiment ends. Forced diamond handing these products until 2030. So yeah, Pallet 1 crushing. It is far and away the winner of the benchmarked items. And Dan, why'd you pick S&P 500? Why'd you pick Bitcoin, gold, silver? I own a decent amount of all of those. Silver and gold, by far the least. I probably barely own 5 figures, if even that. I might not own 5 figures of gold and silver combined. I own very little. My dad owns a fair bit more silver, not too much as far as gold goes. Bitcoin, though, I've played around with it. I own 6 figures in Bitcoin. I own high 6 figures, hopefully someday, not too far in the future, nearing 7 figures of S&P 500. A lot of turmoil, a lot of up and down with that in the past few weeks, few months. So we'll see where that heads. But Pokemon far and away is my major holding. It's my 9 to 5. It's where I get my salary and income from. So I am not just talking the talk. I'm not saying top 5 things to buy. Click my affiliate link below. I'm just showing you my journey, as this entire YouTube channel is. I'm showing you my journey, and my journey involved 116% compound annual growth rate on a pallet. and Pallet 2 doing really well. We'll talk about the actual growth rate over a 6-month span ish since that was completed. And yeah, S&P 500, it is up 13%. Very healthy in a year, honestly. 13%, say 3% inflation. That's a 10% real return after inflation. If I could average that between now and 65, the next 30 years, that would be amazing. I kind of base it on 10% with 3% inflation. So I do like 7% real returns. My doubling time, 10 years, 70 divided by the annual growth rate, and that gets you approximately your doubling time. So I consider it like in real terms, inflation adjusted. If the S&P 500 doubles every 10 years, I'm thrilled. I couldn't be happier. The Pallet doubled in a year. Is it going to do that every year? Mathematically, it's not feasible. It's not possible to do that every year for the next 30 years. I don't even want to run the math. I don't know what that would be if it doubled every year for the next 30 years. It won't. I promise. It won't be trillions of dollars in 30 years. But will it be? Will it be $1 million? Will it be $500,000 in 30 years if I kept it? I have no clue. I can't believe it's done what it's done. But yeah, let's get into what it actually was. I mean, Bitcoin 64%. Liquidity, all the things I talked about in my prior videos. I won't get into it, all of it. I'm going to try to keep this under like 20 minutes. We'll see how I do. But here are the items. So I'm going to hide the quantities. Doesn't really matter. You'll be able to tell by like, I did also have the release date that I'm kind of covering here, but I'm going to hide the quantities and I'm going to hide the release date just so that I can fit more here. So the columns that I'm kind of covering, let me move myself quickly. So the return in percent terms and the number of packs. So I'm running a live stream operation on Fanatics. Click that affiliate link below. Join, $25 for free. You got to pay $4.95 shipping if you want to buy an item. So you can get like $25 worth of stuff for $5. If you're interested, go check it out. I'm very interested in how many packs are on each pallet, because just for context, I've made, let me, if I remember, I'll link a video of my live stream recap, 6 months in, 3 months in, how my live stream operation is going. We're ripping 6,000 packs. 6,000 packs, sorry, 4,000 to 5,000 packs a week. We're ripping 4,000 to 5,000 packs a week. We had, I think we had 1 week where it was nearly 6,000 packs, but 4,000 to 5,000 packs a week on average. We're doing 16,000 to 20,000 packs a month. This is less than 1 month's worth of packs. It's in, we're not doing booster cases a lot of times. We're just doing loose packs, whatever it may be. But anyways, just an interesting kind of anchor point, and interesting to think like 13,000 packs, a whole pallet of Pokemon. That's a crazy amount. Panga and PK are ripping through this every 3 weeks. They're ripping through the equivalent amount of booster packs that are enclosed on this pallet, the first pallet, in 3 weeks. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. Is live streaming in a bubble? Is live, different conversation for a different day. But yeah, the 151 ETB case is far and away the best performer. Sorry, 151 overall. Specialty sets reign supreme. 151 Mew UPC case, which if people know, that's 151. Crown Zenith, and then Evolving Skies. Zard UPC case has Evolving Skies in it. It has a lot of Sword Shield sets. And interesting, very interesting. But some of the Sword Shield sets lagging behind some of these Scarlet Violet sets. LD Evolve was put on at 105 a box, you can see. 630 for a case. And it increased by 127%. I think I took these timestamps. I took these timestamps pricing on March 4th, 2025. And some of these Sword Shield products, if you've been paying attention, I'm not an amazing PokeTuber. I don't have the Sword Shield lines. I did it on my live stream title. But a lot of this stuff might be 10% higher than I timestamped it last week. So this is close enough. This stuff's not for sale for the next 5 years anyways. But $108,000, 13,000 packs worth of product, one item. I threw it kind of a flyer. It'll be interesting to see how it performs in the future. I think a couple people in the comments were like, what's this guy doing putting TCG classic products on a pallet? Hindsight's obvious. There are worlds in which it could have gone up. It went down 0.8%. I think you can actually get it. I called it 248.02, which I believe is what TCG Player was showing it as the other day. I think Sam's Club, I think one of the wholesale clubs, you can get it at like 190 or $200. Yeah, whether that's a play or not, clearly it was not a play over the last year, unless you broke it down, graded, sold, whatever. But Battle Styles, Darkness Ablaze, Vivid Voltage, Those sword shield sets lagging, doing the worst. Probably not that overly surprising to people. Biggest thing, I said it a ton in the last 2 videos. I'm going to say it again. I'm walking the walk. Dan, it's so obvious. Why didn't you put more of 151? Show me your video to your pallet investment. Show me your receipts. Show me you walking the walk. YouTube is filled with investor cosplayers. YouTube is filled with people talking. Talk is cheap. What are you doing? And I'm not doing this trying to sway anyone into following in my footsteps. Please don't. Opportunity cost, all those videos, all those considerations that I talked about before. Please don't just copy me. It probably won't work out well. I'm probably able to buy the stuff cheaper. I'm adding it directly to the pallet from my wholesale allocation at wholesale pricing on some of these sets, which we will. Let's go right into pallet 2 and talk about it there. So again, let me just hide the quantities. Let me hide this extended price thing. Oh yeah, let me hide a couple of these things first. I did put the date in which I added the product to the pallet. Not the date that they were released. Last one was by release date. But yeah, let me hide these. And there's hide. I'm gonna hide these. And yeah, there's the TCG player market price. I don't know why this one didn't hide. But here are what the items are. I think I'm gonna have to hide a couple more things. There we go. So now we have some green in there. Now we can see how many packs are in the products. So pallet 2 contains 10,380 packs. Again, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks worth of packs. Not a whole lot. One thing I did do, I did start doing this. I'm going to start doing this more in future pallets. Loose packs. Dan, those sword shield cases that you put on, you probably can't live stream those, right? Like those are a big premium to loose packs. Someday, maybe I'll do a case break live stream. Someday we might try to go that route, but it is a massive premium to what loose packs are. I can sell loose packs at 105, 110% of market. So Crown Zenith, I threw a bunch on there at 5. I threw a bunch on there at 5 in January when I said like there's almost no shot these things would be in 2025 $10 a pack. What are they now? $9.94 a pack. I was wrong. I was very wrong in January to say Crown Zenith would not be a $10 pack in 1 year, because it was actually a $10 pack in 4 months. This market, it's crazy. But you might have noticed pallet 1 had 1 item that was red. Pallet 2 has no items that are red. Pallet 2, I've improved. I've improved in the 6 months since 6 months into pallet 1 being complete, building pallet 2, finalizing pallet 2. I've done better. Nothing's gone down. Some things have gone massively up. 288% returns. Dan, Prismatic Evolutions, ETBs, you're adding those at $300 for an ETB case? Yes, that's what I paid for my distributor. I have an arrangement with my dad where we put, I'm putting 4 cases of every product, 4 cases of every ETB case. I only do, and honestly, pallet 2 has ETB cases. Pallet 3, pallet 4 will not have ETB cases. They're all going to be just packs, the most dense form they can possibly be. Packs, booster boxes, things like that. No air. We're getting rid of air. The space is too premium. The space is too premium. No more TCG Classics. So I am getting right to the goods. I want to up the amount of packs that I have per pallet. But here's what it finalized as. So unfortunately, when I hit a row, it lost me some stuff. The total cost of pallet 2 was $51,619, and the total value today is $101,050. So it's a 95.76% return. Some of these things were added 9 months ago. Some of these things were added 3 months, 6 months. It's kind of like hard. Well, you could calculate exactly what the compound annual growth rate was if I cared to go through the exercise. But the total return over a variable time frame nearly doubled the money. Nearly doubled the money. So pallet 1 worth $108,000. Pallet 2 worth $101,000, and the cost basis being 40 something on pallet 1, a little over 50 on pallet 2. Pallet 3 is underway. Pallet 3 is almost done. I will do a video next week talking about what's going on in pallet 3, what further considerations there. I want to break these up, not do an hour-long rant session like I did on some of my prior ones. But yeah, I am putting things that you don't have access to. I have been around for 11 years, and this is what you're up against. If you are investing in this phase, you are up against established businesses that are getting in a lot cheaper. And I've heard people say like, well, sealed prices only go up because who would ever sell at a loss? They could go down a lot without me ever selling at a loss. And the same rings true for a lot of other people. Just because you might have paid 120, just because some people might have paid 140, 150, doesn't mean they couldn't go down a lot. There's risk. These things could go down. They've all gone up. It's green. It's been one of the best investments I made in my life. Another video I'll be doing later this month. One of the other best, not investment, but a flip. One of the best plays that I made. I will be talking about that. But yeah, look at these performers. Japanese 151 booster boxes. Well, they've only gone up 167%. They've only, and going up 167% means they're 267% of what they were that day. That they're over 2.5 times worth what. So terminology, like semantics, the way that I did this, when it shows that prismatic ETB cases are up 288%, that means they're 388% of what they were, nearly quadruple the price that I bought them at, putting them on the pallet. So yeah, by no means is this like, hey, copy me and you're going to get exactly the returns I did and I can. This was not skill. This was an irrational, in my opinion, market. This was something that will change. This is not going to be forever. Not only will this not be forever, this has only been the last 6 months. People are going crazy. I'm going to do an upcoming video. Will be me doing a case study on Battle Styles, Vivid Voltage, and Shining Fates. How much I got allocated, what I sold them for, and when, and how long they were significantly below those prices. Do I think Prismatic, Journey, and Destined will be Shining and Battle Styles and Vivid Voltage exactly? No. Do I think they could be high out of the gate, irrationally high, go down over time, sub MSRP? Do I think they could be bad risk-adjusted investments for people buying at full market price? Absolutely. Do I think that they could be a year or two significantly 20, 30, 40, 50% lower than people are paying today? Absolutely. Will they? I don't know. All I know is my cost basis is 30 on these 4 cases, 30 per ETB. I feel comfortable. I feel happy. I've sold a lot of my other ones, but as I said in my prior videos, this is just what's on the pallets. I have more. Some amount get added to the pallet later. I will give you a teaser. All the hype that's going on with Sword and Shield. I called my dad and I'm like, hey, I'm thinking about selling a bunch of stuff. Do you want to just buy into half of it so that I am forced to not sell it into the market and lose? So I basically sold my dad into half of the insanity that was going on with Sword and Shield. It was about $50,000 worth of product, and I'm forced diamond handing the Sword and Shield. It feels insane. Every part of my being wants me to sell it. We'll talk about it more next week. Many parts of my being want me to sell it at today's crazy prices. Many parts of my being, if I didn't do this, venture, if I didn't do this video, this idea, the forced diamond handing, holding till 2030, I would be doing with most of this the same things I did with XY, the same things I did with Sun Moon, the same things I did with early Sword and Shield. I would be selling it all out of the gate, and I would never see $1,000 boxes. I never saw $1,000 XY era boxes. I never saw $1,000 Sun and Moon era boxes because I sold them when they were 200, 300, 500. I'm forcing myself, for better or for worse. A lot of people, a lot of confidence in what it's going to do over time. But we'll see what pans out. I'm here. I'm along for the ride. Feel free to click that like, subscribe if you want to see potentially some amazing returns or potential amazing crashing and burning. I'm putting it all out there on the line as I do on my whole channel. And I am leaving myself open to criticism for better or for worse. And we'll see where and how it goes. But yeah, that's Pallet 2. Pallet 2 is done. Pallet 2 is just entirely there for the first time. It's all there in one place in one video. So you can screenshot it. You can call me dumb for having put Japanese 151 booster boxes at 115. So I did add some. You'll see sometimes I added some at 55. I added some at 115. I was buying them at 45. I just didn't consciously add them to the pallet at the time. I added 151 booster packs at 9. I'm still buying them at 9 today. So even though when it says up 19.89%, kind of flat, right? If I sold them 15% fees, shipping, blah, blah, blah. Frictional fees, more frictional fees than you'd see with S&P 500 or Bitcoin. Just some considerations to think on. But yeah, some Crown Zenith loose packs, I'm up 65%. And some of them I'm up 98.8%, nearly doubling my money. So yeah, those are the different ranges of things that are on Pallet 2. And yeah, here's Pallet 1 again. There's the comparisons. It'll be interesting to see. Oh, I hid some of the columns, so it's kind of weird what's showing there. But anyways, it'll be interesting to see what happens, what is to come from these future months and years, I am now going to go into some commentary on my original video, some of the thoughts, some of the things that I made, some funny predictions I made in my original video. If you didn't go watch it, I'm just going to recap some of the funnier bits. I said in 1 year, I made predictions. I said, hey, here's my walk that I'm walking, and here's the cheap part. Like, this is my walk. Let me talk about it. Let me run my mouth about it. Let me theorize. Let me predict. I predicted some things would be down 10 to 15% at a year. Nothing was down 10 to 15%. The unfortunate TCG Classic ended up being down 0.79% at 1 year. So I guess I was right in that something was down, not down nearly as bad as I thought. Dan, I've been too bearish. I've always been too bearish. The way that it's played out so far, the 11 years I've been in the hobby. But how will that change in the future? Will that change in the future? Part of me having been too bearish for the last 11 years, I am forcing myself to get out of my comfort zone and just diamond hand, vault this stuff out of sight, out of mind. It's literally off site. I can't physically touch it, these pallets. I can't physically touch, well, look, pallet 3 is still here. Pallet 1 and 2 are gone, wrapped up. Can't touch them. Pallet 3 will be soon there as well. I said some things would likely be down at 2 to 3 years. And I said, if I had to guess, nothing would be down at 5 years. Did I guarantee nothing would be down at 5 years? No. Do I still think some things could be down in a year? Given that, let me hide a couple of these again. I'm doing terrible with hiding and unhiding these rows. But given that most things have doubled, do I think Temporal Forces will go back down to $90 a box? Do I think Paradox Rift will go back down to $80 a box? I really don't. I have a strong feeling that they won't. But could they? They could. Do I think they will? No. Very low percentage chance. I think TCG Classic might be down in 5 years, 2 to 3 years, 5 years. No idea. I don't think it will be. I think eventually it will run out at Sam's Club, wherever it's available at the wholesale place. I think it will pop up eventually. It will likely have been. If I had to guess, let me do some. I'm gonna recap the old guesses. I'm gonna give you new ones. I think 151 will continue to reign supreme, and Crown Zenith. I think they're the best sets. I think they're a better set than Evolving Skies. So I think these will, as they were at 6 months, they were near the top. I think they will stay at the top 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. Anytime I recap this down the line, I think this will stay at the bottom. I think there will not be too many changes in the ranks, to be honest. I think some of these Sword Shield might end up pumping above the Scarlet Violet in around 2-3 years. And then maybe they flip. Maybe the middle, there's a lot more changing, but I think the top and the bottom are fairly solidified. There's a world where they reprint Sword and Shield. They didn't substantially. They really didn't have the ability to. They had so many requirements for getting more prints of 151 and the like, right? So, and I said, it's funny, I said in a year, some of these Scarlet Violet boxes could be $150, as if that was like a very bullish, as that was a very like wild, high-end, upside case. And they're all 200 at minimum. They're all 200 at minimum now. It's absolutely insane to me. If you had told me a year ago, Dan, that pallet is going to be worth $108,000, Dan, your lowest boxes will be the Scarlet Violet boxes at 200 a box. I wouldn't have believed you. I would have said that's possible, but I would have been very surprised by that. And one thing I said I'm going primarily Scarlet and Violet because I was adding them at 80, 90, $100 a box. I know his risk tolerance. I know his sentiment as an investor. I wanted to avoid seeing red. Even though the odds were fairly low that Sword Shield would get reprints, I wanted to avoid. He has access to a document that tracks the values of all these pallets. I don't want him to go in and see a bunch of red down 10, 20, 30% and prevent buying and building new pallets in the future. So we did avoid that. Everything is very green. It would have been great if I did more 151, less of these stuff, but it is what it is. 1 year from today, I think the Sword Shield era booster boxes will outperform the SV era boxes. And in 6 years, I think SV will outperform. So I made a prediction that, why don't I just hide a bunch of these middle rows here? I made a prediction that early on, like 1 year check-in where we're at right now, I thought Sword Shield would do better. But overall, as far as the booster cases go, there is Lost Origin up in there. And to be fair, if you add the 5-10% gains that some of these have seen in the last days, since I took the timestamp on May 4th, 2025, some of these are up a little bit higher. The Sword Shield era boxes. But generally, SV2, SV3 were kind of the winners there. Even SV1 doing pretty solid. So I'll stick with that. I think SV will be outperforming when 2030 hits. Where's your pallet? If you knew the amount of talk, the amount of confidence, the amount of irrational exuberance out there, in my opinion, the amount of people just making commentary on things they don't own, will never own. Click the affiliate link below so I can make money off you buying things that I don't buy myself. I say they're the best investments ever, and YouTube is ripe with that. YouTube is filled with that. I don't want to be that. I've never been that. I never will become that. I do have affiliate links below to my eBay to join the Fanatics Live, but I don't tell you to buy them. I don't tell you they're good investments. I tell you I'm buying certain things and why, and a lot of the things that I'm buying, a lot of the things that I'm putting on this pallet, they're not on my affiliate links below. I'm not selling them in that fashion for a reason. And I don't think in 2030 this will be 500K. This is one of the biggest ones that I said in the 1 year ago video. I don't think in 2030 this will be $500,000. I could see it being 100 grand. I said in 6 years I could see us doubling our money, a little bit more than doubling our money. Our cost basis on pallet 1 was like 42 grand. I said my trajectory for like 6 years, which to be fair, it could be worth, it's worth 100 grand today, 108 grand. It could be worth 100 grand in 2030. People will say in the comments, it's impossible. Dan, it couldn't happen. I promise you it could happen, but I'm with you, 99.999% chance that it won't. And then here's some further commentary from the 6-month update video. So at the time, the biggest leader was 151 UPCs. They've gone down to second place, and they had an 86.63% return. So as of right now, they have a 239% return at 1 year. So they've gone down to second, but they are still right up there near the top. Now it's 151 ETBs. And I said we might build Pallet 2 in 2 years or in 6 months, pending the opportunities and cash flows. We ended up finalizing Pallet 2 about 3 months later because our cash flows were doing really well and the opportunities were really great from what I saw, what I understood. And clearly, these are the things I was putting on it. And we did well. I'm glad I built Pallet 2 as quickly as I did. And I'm glad my dad was right there with me, matching me dollar for dollar, setting this stuff back. So that performed really well. At the time, we had, so finalizing it out, we had 51,619 in cost, and its current value today is 101,000. At the time I recorded the 6-month video, we had 22,000 in purchases. So in the last 6 months, we spent 30 grand more on Pallet 2. I'm not going to spoil anything, but we spent over 40 grand each so far on Pallet 3. So I guess I'm spoiling something, but I'm not spoiling everything. So we added in the past 6 months between me and my dad combined, we added about $100,000. We added 30,000 to Pallet 1 and over 70,000 to Pallet 2. So we've added over $100,000 together in the last 6 months to Pallets 2 and 3. So we're bullish. We're doing big things. And for next week, I just spent 50 grand on Sword Shield cases for Pallet 3. Tune in next week. Pallet 4 is starting early this summer, late this spring, not sure exactly. I haven't physically put everything that is allocated to Pallet 3 on Pallet 3. Pallet 3 might be full. It might not quite be full. I don't know exactly. I need to physically put it together and then transport it over to my dad. Tune in next week, though. I will talk more about Pallet 3. TCG Player Sell Trap. I talked about this on my live stream. I think a lot of people are going to spend a bunch of money on the TCG Player sale. They're going to wait. They're going to save up their money, and then they're going to spend it to save 10% on things that already grew 30% while they were saving money while they were waiting. A lot of times, the Black Friday, the Cyber Monday, I know Alex Nostalgianomics has talked about like it being kind of a trap, waiting for the Black Friday sale, waiting. A lot of times, especially with what's going on in Sword Shield in the past week or so, a lot of times, especially now, in my opinion at least, you're better off just buying when you have the liquidity, when you have the cash flow, and not waiting for a sale where the price is going to be 20% higher, where people are going to intentionally raise their prices because they know people are going to be coming through with coupons. I might make a video devoted to that entirely, but we'll see. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. And hey, if you're new here, these types of investment return videos, a lot of times they get higher views than my other views on my channel. If you like me, my video, the channel, you like the thoughts of, hey, this is a guy not telling me what to do, not shouting at, I'm shouting at you a little bit, but not shouting at you, go buy this, go buy that, top 5 investments of things that I don't even own. This is me, a guy on YouTube. I've run business in Pokemon 11 years, side hustle, part-time, whatever. I've been full-time going on 4 years now, and I'm doing a multi 7-figure business for multiple years now. I'm documenting my journey. Please follow along if you'd like to. Follow along as in watching the videos. Don't blindly follow along trying to copy me by any means. But if you enjoy the video, feel free to like and sub. Let me know in the comments what videos you'd like to see in the future, and I will have timestamped them above. Lots of backlog of videos that give you context for who this crazy guy is on YouTube investing with his dad by the pallet. And I did pull up both videos. I want to go through some comments. So a couple things here. Let me go back full screen for a minute, and then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna show you some comments from the year-old video and the 6-month-old video. But I'm recording this on May 10th. On May 21st, Wednesday, May 21st. Let me double check my calendar to make sure. Wednesday, May 21st at approximately, we'll probably do it at like 8 p.m. My dad is going to come over and we are going to do a live stream together. So I will be shifted over a little bit. My dad will be right here. It should be a fun stream. It's going to be a father and son Pokemon investing duo live stream Q&A. Feel free to ask questions. If you won't be able to make the live stream, and maybe it gets rescheduled, maybe for whatever reason we need to reschedule it. If we have to, it's going to happen though. He's excited for the opportunity to, I'm excited to have him on too. I think it'll be fun. But if you have any questions for my dad, you can't make the live stream, leave them in the comments below. I will try to remember to take some of the most upvoted questions for my dad. But if you're there, should be a good time. Hop into the live chat. And we will chat Pokemon with myself and my father. And yeah, he's it's funny thinking about it. My dad is one of the best. If you had to put him pound for pound, if you had to put him up against the biggest Pokemon investment market channels on YouTube, he's probably in the top 1 percentile for like actually walking the walk. So he's done more financially. And obviously, I'm the active manager of our Pokemon investment fund, but he's actually garnered more Pokemon returns than 99% of YouTubers' channels that you'll watch. That'll tell you to buy this and buy that have no idea what they're talking about, and they're not even doing what they're talking about. So I just wanted to put that out there. That's a little bit spicy to end it off. But yeah, let me show some of the comments. So 1 year ago, Mr. James, ZNG Emporium. This could not be more of a sell signal. The amount of top signals that I've seen in the hobby in the past year, so many. Me investing with my dad, buy the pallet in Pokemon, and everything's doubled. It's like our pallets have doubled since. It's insane. Pokemon finally a gambling video. I've been waiting 3 years for this. Lots of good comments in here. Let me see. I know there were some other good ones. Parents are investing in Pokemon. Time to sell it all. Right here, Ray, a year ago you asked for it, and it's gonna come true. Requesting an interview with Dan's dad on his portion of the investment. That is coming soon. Feel free to leave your questions. Someday maybe it's coming through. He turned up and dumped all this junk in my shed. I don't know anything about it. That would be hilarious. But yeah, there's a bunch of, we got Ponga always doing the obligatory first comment. But 6 months ago, the Alpha Investment 69. When I saw this, I thought it was a meme. I thought it was a meme account, a spoof account. It's actually Rudy. If you click on it, it goes to Alpha Investments. It goes to Alpha Investments with 389,000 subscribers. Oh no. I don't think 2 seconds of Rudy saying, hey everybody, is gonna get me copyright striked or anything. But Rudy, if you're here watching this video, I should have said this 34 seconds in, not 34 minutes in. Rudy and all Rudy followers, give me a taco. Give me a taco emoji in the chat if you've watched this far, if you're a fan of this channel and or Rudy's channel. I couldn't believe it. Great job, Ketchum. This is a good mindset with a calm approach. Congrats, and I hope this does very well for you long term. I hope this channel gets more views. I hope so too. It's doing pretty well, at least for me, for little old me, little old Pokemon investing Daniel. But a couple people saying like, hey, I'm gonna have to sell in 2029 before Dan unloads his pallet. It's funny because like a pallet is nothing. a pallet, talking about Rudy, talking about Mr. Warehouse. I'm investing by the pallet. He's investing by the truckload, by the warehouse, by the whatever. I made the comment, a measly pallet won't have any effect on this stuff. 13,000 packs, 10,000 packs. That's going to evaporate. That stuff evaporates every week with my operation. If you take everyone's operations into account, what's that being evaporated? Every 30 minutes? Every hour? Every 5 minutes? I have no idea. Getting information on like that scale, that quantity would be interesting. But it's, yeah, really, really crazy. This is one of my favorite series that I've done. I think it's really one of the most successful things I've done as a business, and I'm really excited for the future of it. I'm really excited to build pallets 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. And 2030, I'm gonna be here for it. I'll definitely still be full-time Pokemon. Will I still have a channel? Almost definitely. I don't ever intend on deleting this entirely or anything. I said this video is going to be quicker, and it's 35 minutes. I'm going to have to end there, but appreciate everyone hanging out. I asked you to comment a bunch of things throughout the video, so I'm not going to add anything else. I appreciate you all watching. I will catch you all later.